Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Good morning. Welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right. I am John Palacio.
And I'm Marlene Cuellar, and thank you for joining us this morning.
That's right. It's a beautiful Friday morning, Belize. We're feeling great. We're so glad that you were able to start your morning right with us right here on Open Your Eyes.
That's right.
But as per usual, the first order of duty, Marlene, is always to have a quick chit-chat of what made up the newscast last night. And there were so many things, of course, that we were able to talk about today, but for the most part, and we continue to drive this news home, and it's all about the coronavirus and the vaccination rollout and the vaccines and how many people are actually getting it on a daily basis. I think that is definitely always for us big news, because we want for folks to adhere to it. We want for folks to go on out there and get vaccinated. It is important we do so. Yesterday's card actually punched in, I think...
We broke the 100,000 mark.
We broke the 100,000 mark.
That's definitely a great achievement on our part.
Indeed.
We were, I think since last week, we've just seen a surge in people going out to get vaccinated. And up to yesterday, at least 102 Belizeans have received their vaccination. And the total vaccinated persons, let me pull up my numbers here.
Get your numbers. Let's get
37. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So we got 37,000 fully vaccinated persons. So we're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there.
We're getting there.
I'm so happy, like you mentioned, 102,052 Belizeans have been vaccinated already. Not fully, for those, not everybody fully, but that's a great number. 3,356 yesterday totaled for those who went out to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
Those are great numbers. And
we don't want to get, there's still a lot more to go, but I think, acknowledging that we're at over 100,000 is definitely something big.
But folks should know that this is definitely, if we would like for our economy to actually grow, then this is what we must do. And this is upon each and every one of us who, of course, as long as you're 18 and over. The phase rollout is no longer there. You could go to any health center. As a matter of fact, you could go to the Ministry of Health Facebook page, and they'll show you exactly where you can go in your municipality to get vaccinated.
Of course.
It's like they're at nearly every corner, but they know exactly what to do, and you know exactly what to do as well. Also, coming out of the news, we know that sitting at the Senate, that was on Wednesday, definitely big news there, as the 10th and 11th proposed bill, there's some opposition to it, and of course,
But beyond that, though, it's a big weekend coming up this Sunday. The recall vote for the United Democratic Party takes place.
Yes.
And we have seen where there's been an active campaign, to vote yes and no to Patrick Faber. This is essentially just, since the petition triggered the recall vote, it is to get validation from the delegates of the United Democratic Party or current opposition as to whether or not they would like to move forward with Patrick Faber as their leader. Patrick Faber is still the leader of the United Democratic Party. However, he is not the leader of the opposition in the House.
Yeah, he's not. And it's definitely one of the news, one of the stories that will be on, because it was, should I say, hotly contested within the past few weeks, the situation.
Yeah.
And so definitely we'll be on that for you coming up Sunday.
Yeah. It is going to be an interesting day. I think seeing the unraveling of the situation in the past 2 weeks, all triggered with, I would say the tipping point really was the video, surveillance video that was leaked that showed Patrick Faber in an act of rage And that has been used against him as kind of why people are saying they no longer have confidence in him.
Yeah.
But clearly the rift goes far deeper than that, and that's been evident over the past few weeks.
It has been.
And so, the vote on Sunday is a very critical one, and we'll see whether or not he will come out on Monday morning or at the end of Sunday as continuing to be the leader of the party, or if not.
I'm laughing because I think about everything that has been going on leading up to that situation. It's definitely going to be a hotly contested one, and it is a democratic process in the works there. That's clearly, But those are some of the newscasts, some of the news that actually made the newscast last night. And of course, if you see anything, if you know anything, you could always reach out to us right here on Channel 5 to highlight whatsoever we feel or you feel should be highlighted in the news.
All right. And with that, we're going to get moving into our eye-opener for this morning. Some motivation to get your day started. And our eye-opener goes like this. Maybe you are using a desire you can't fulfill to distract you from truly engaging in the blessings you already have. When it comes to the things we want, there always seems to be an endless list. No matter how many times we get something off that list, we add new things to replace it. In life, this drama of wanting and getting and wanting is all part of the dance. The things we want motivate us to get up and get them. And yet, at the same time, we can torment ourselves with our wanting, especially when we want something we can't have or can't find. It may be scary to have what we want. We get caught up in the chase and forget to enjoy the beauty right in front of us, like a child who never wants the toy she has in her hand, but always the one just out of her reach. Take a moment today to consider the many things you are holding in the palm of your hand and how you might best play with them.
The lines that took me there, we get caught up in the chase and forget to enjoy the beauty right in front of us, like a child who never wants the toy that she has in her hand.
Yeah.
I've got my kids. I'll tell you what.
The next one.
She has in her hand, but always the one just out of reach. And that reminds me of life, setting that vision, mission. Sometimes you get there. We were always taught not to be complacent as well. So reading that, it came to mind. Take a moment today to consider the many things you're holding in the palm of your hand and how you might best play with them. Look, I think that's a great eye-opener to tell folks that even though you were taught, or we were taught to not be complacent, sometimes when it might seem far-fetched to get that one particular thing that you're looking for, take a look back at those that you've got, because honestly, those things are gifts right there in the palm of your hand, and they're blessings. And so the eye-opener actually, strikes that for me many a times, and it's only human that we like a good challenge. So we might have something, but it's that far-fetched thing there that is what we want. We've got blessings, man, and it's right there in the palm of our hands. As a matter of fact, Marlene, waking up this morning, that's a blessing. Yeah. That's a gift.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
And we really don't think about it. I get it. It's Friday. There are a lot of people who wait for this day, and they wake up. You're probably opening your eyes right now thinking, oh, God, I got to do it all over again. This adulting thing. But, we don't know our blessings until we don't have them. And sometimes just the gift of being able to open your eyes and have sight, take a deep breath in the time of COVID and not be worried. Stepping off a comfortable bed or a warm bed. If you have a loved one next to you, even better. And being able to get up and move and go around your day. That's just something that we will never understand how much of a blessing it is until we don't.
Because we've got those things right there in our hand. When it's all right. When I got free thing, like, got an orb or thing, I could always get them.
They say Belizean love free thing, right?
Well, that's what they say. But at the same time, if you have to work for it, Marlene, you tend to hold it close, for the most part. But that's the way it is, ladies and gentlemen.
For me, I think the bigger thing is when you look at setting goals, especially, or when you go after something, it's very, and especially if you're very driven and goal oriented, it's like you hit one marker and then you're like, okay, I got to go after the rest. And it's okay. So I think it's great, but I think the danger in it is that sometimes you just keep on like moving, and you never take a moment to acknowledge where you've come.
Yeah, and it happens with the family.
And you did all that hard work for what?
Yeah. Well, at least that's the perception.
You finished something at your house and you're already thinking next phase, right?
Yeah.
And did you sit and say,
but
we did it?
We did it. We did it. You know, and I love that you took it there because, you know, it reminds me, and it happens a lot at home.
I know.
There are times when, and I could say, you know how we are. I'm big on family.
Yeah.
Big on family. And my wife would be, you know, we would actually talk about our accomplishments between here and there and say, hey, we actually did that, you know. That is what we do. We did that together. Simply because sometimes we tend to not see all the accomplishments. But guys, we've got it right here in the palm of our hands. We did it. All right.
All right. So we're.
So what do we have?
I don't know. Is that Jenny, who's very eager to join us already? She just needs to.
I miss you, Jen.
All right, we gotta shift gears now. We got our weather update for today, courtesy of the National Meteorological Service.
Morning. A moderate to fresh easterly air flow prevails over the area. The 24-hour forecast. Sunny with some cloudy spells today and generally isolated showers. Whereas a few showers and isolated thunderstorms will continue over the south this morning, gradually decreasing. Then, partly cloudy skies with isolated showers or thunderstorms for tonight. Please note that there is a flood watching effect for the possibility of flooding in low-lying and flood-prone areas over the Toledo district due to heavy overnight rains. High temperatures for today will reach 86 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 90 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and 81 degrees Fahrenheit in the mountains. Low temperatures for tonight will be 82 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 75 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and 68 degrees Fahrenheit in the hills. Winds over the open sea will be from the east at 10 to 20 knots with occasionally higher gusts. Sea conditions will be moderate to rough, and operators of small crafts are advised to continue exercising caution. High tides occur at 9:04 this morning and then 10:47 tonight. Low tides at 4:40 this evening and then 3:30 tomorrow morning. The moon will set at 6:32 this evening and then rise at 5:49 tomorrow morning. Sunset is at 6:31 this evening and sunrise at 5:24 tomorrow morning. The extended forecast. Isolated showers or thunderstorms are expected for Saturday and Saturday night. The sargassum update. There is a medium to high chance of new sargassum mats landing on beaches across the country during the next few days. And in the tropical weather outlook, tropical cyclone formation is not expected in the North Atlantic, the Caribbean Sea, or the Gulf of Mexico during the next 48 hours. And this has been this morning's weather report from the National Meteorological Service.
A big thank you to the forecaster on duty at the National Met Service. Marlene, there is a flood watch. There is a possibility of flooding in low-lying and flood-prone areas over the Toledo district due to heavy overnight rains. Wow.
All I'm thinking about is what that thunder must have sounded like.
Oh my goodness, you tell me.
You had not heard thunder in this country till you heard thunder in Toledo.
I was there.
Right or wrong?
Last week, I'll tell you what, it sounded like when the judge like this as the thunder bust. Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah. That stuff will wake you out of your sleep. But
indeed. But then again, guys, we must remember, or we'll remind you that we are in hurricane season. It is from June to November. And so therefore, make sure that you've got your hurricane preparedness plan in place.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, we got to get moving into our show for today.
Indeed, we've got 3 lovely segments lined up for you. And yesterday, before getting the segments, I said, man, I miss Jenny. I haven't seen her in a while. Well, my prayers have been answered. Jenny will be in with us this morning, and we'll be breaking it down with her. She'll be providing advice for viewers who need clarity on some issues. Jenny, we can't wait to see you. And she is coming up in the first segment.
All right, and the second part of our show, Cornelia Marfield is joining us again.
Oh, wow.
And we know that he is very much into using food as a way to boost your immune system. Definitely important in these times of COVID. So he's going to be doing an immunity boosting shot for us today.
Looking forward to that, of course. And in the third,
I wonder what it's going to taste like.
I don't know, but you know what? Interesting guy. Interesting things.
I think it's going to have ginger. If I had to guess an ingredient, it's going to.
I feel
garlic?
ginger. I feel garlic. I feel somewhere around moringa-ish.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
Yeah, we don't know. We're just guessing here, literally. And in the third segment for this morning, we'll be discussing love, sex, and intimacy talk. That's the talk we'll be having this morning in the third segment. What is it about? And who is the target audience? So we've got that and more this morning, so make sure that you stay with us. We'll take our first break. When we come back, we'll be joined by Jenny Love.
Are you a teacher or public sector employee who is thinking of owning your new home? Get the keys to your new home with Belize Bank's all-inclusive mortgage, the best financing option in Belize for your new home purchase or construction. Inclusive of all mortgage-related fees, no down payment, affordable terms, amazingly low interest rates. Visit our nearest branch to speak to one of our financial advisors to discuss how you can be one step closer to owning your new home. Some conditions apply.
Es un hecho. Únicamente con Smart obtienes todo realmente ilimitado. Solo con Smart obtienes datos ilimitados en cualquier momento. Mientras que con el otro proveedor solo son datos dobles los fines de semana. Con datos ilimitados todos los días no hay necesidad de esperar, así que es un hecho que nuestros planes ilimitados superan a la competencia. Por lo tanto, no permita que le digan cómo y cuándo usar sus datos. Llamadas, mensajes de texto y datos ilimitados. Vive la verdadera experiencia de planes ilimitados con Smart. Es un hecho. Haga el cambio y viva Smart.
With the touch of a finger, we can easily unlock our phones and securely gain access to our data. This technology is called biometrics, and the Social Security Board is introducing fingerprint recognition to make transactions and handling of your sensitive data secure, fast, accurate, and convenient. Is your identity safe? Fingerprint recognition will keep your Social Security record secure and confidential while making your access fast and easy. It protects your identity. Is your name a common one? Fingerprint recognition uses your unique characteristics, ensuring your hard-earned benefits go directly to you, the rightful owner. Tired of all the paperwork? Fingerprinting makes this hassle-free. Your convenience and your information security is our priority. Fingerprint recognition coming soon. Social Security at your fingertips.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, if you see news happening or suspect that something might be up, call or text the Channel 5 News Belize tip line at 672-5555. You don't have to give us your name, just give us the tip. That's 672-5555. Call or text us so we can check it out.
Been drinking all night.
Don't drive,
Feeling so high.
don't drive,
Better not drive.
don't drive,
Won't even try.
don't drive,
Been drinking all night,
don't drive,
feeling so high.
don't drive,
Better not drive,
don't drive,
ain't gon' try.
don't drive,
Been drinking all night,
don't drive,
feeling so high.
don't drive,
Better not drive,
don't drive,
ain't gon' try.
don't drive.
If you're drinking and driving, I'm not going with ya. If you're drinking and driving, I'm not going with ya. People die every day, I'm not going with ya. I'ma find my own way, I'm not going with ya. It's okay, I'll wait. Even good people make mistakes. I don't wanna realize when it's too late. Drinking and driving is never safe. If you're drinking and driving, I'm not going with ya. If you're drinking and driving, I'm not going with ya. Been drinking all night,
Don't drive,
feeling so high.
don't drive,
Better not drive,
don't drive,
ain't gon' try.
don't drive,
Been drinking all night,
don't drive,
feeling so high.
don't drive,
Better not drive,
don't drive,
ain't gon' try.
don't drive.
These are the people who I want to appeal to. Make those little slips. It happens. You have to have a plan to manage your problems effectively. How are you going to do it? Fall off the horse? Jump right back on.
And we are back. We are back. Welcome to our first segment. It is that time of the morning whereby we broke it down with Jenny. We're actually
That's right.
shifting things up.
Yep, well, Jenny is joining us via Zoom. Good morning.
Good morning, Jen.
Good early morning. Good morning, Belize.
We're loving your energy.
It's so
we're
early.
We're loving your energy, Jen. Good morning again. It's so nice to
Good
see
morning.
you. We've been wondering when we'll talk to Jenny again, and today is that day. But it is a twist, Jenny, because today is we're not actually going to discuss from PowerPoint as to what to, how to. This morning, you'll actually be getting some real audience to ask you questions.
Yep.
Owie.
Yeah. So this is Dear Jenny.
Oh, I remember those
I
days.
remember we used to do them, yeah. So, Dear Jenny. Well, you know, we know one thing, and we've had quite a few mental health segments, and we keep on getting responses from people asking about their specific issues. And I guess we set the ground rules earlier, Jen, that, you know, you can only work with the information you have. Tell us, you know, how do people interpret how you will give your responses?
Okay.
Yeah?
All right.
All right. So we put the call out to see what people wanted some help with. And let's see where we're going to start. Okay, we're going to start with this one. It says, my father has been through a lot of tragedy in the past 2 years. He's lost 3 loved ones and is still recovering from a serious case of COVID, which had him hospitalized. I recently found out my stepmother began having an affair while my father was hospitalized, and it's still continuing. I don't know what to do. I have to tell him, but I feel like this revelation would devastate him after he's already been through so much. Ooh. Jen?
Why do you have to tell him? Not while he's ill. Number one, this is between your stepmother and your father. That is their business. He is ill right now. And not only that, he has had a number of tragedies happen to him. Pretty much right now, his bucket is full.
Yeah.
It's really full. And you're going to go add an overfilled bucket with more stuff about your stepmother. Why is that so important to you to do right now? Please leave that until your dad is well, he's out of the hospital, he's strong enough to be able to contend with that and deal with it himself. In the meantime, though, what you can do is He's lost 3 people. You need to go and be there to be a support system. He needs support right now. If he's still in the hospital, I don't know if they allow visitors, but he needs a support system right now, and he needs people who are going to just love him and support him and help him over the hurdle of the people he lost. This is an additional loss with your stepmother, and they might work it out. Leave the people and let them work that out. Okay. Let them work that out. Don't get into that. He's with grief. Let me just say this real quickly. I need to keep this short. I hear you have a lot of questions, but grieving is like a bucket. If you don't deal with the grief right then and take care of it, it starts adding up, and then something else happens and it adds up, and you don't do anything about it, and it keeps adding. You don't have a spigot that's letting that grief out. You're not dealing with it. It tends to overwhelm a person. We really recommend that when you have losses, please go in and talk to someone. There are a lot of us out here. Go and talk to a person, a counselor. Go to the units at the the mental health people at the clinics. Please go talk to somebody. And when your dad is out, in fact, ask the mental health people to go in and sit with him and talk to him there about the losses he's gone through. But please do not bring up that stepmother thing right now until he is strong enough. You don't know how he's going to handle that.
All right.
So that's just one, and I know that we've got a lot.
But
another. One of the things, Jen, we've always been saying this one thing, and for this reason I picked this one out that I'm about to read to you. Okay. That we tend to not want to we're afraid to reach out to help because we don't want for folks to think any way of us. We don't want for our friends to feel that, you know what, yes, something really wrong with you. But this one says, Miss Jenny, how can I access counseling without my friends thinking something is wrong with me?
Okay, so I always tell folks, my friends are going to laugh at me. They're going to think this about me. You don't know if your friends are coming in to see someone already too, because counseling is not so much of a pariah as it used to be when I came home. Yeah. When I first got here, people would not seek counseling. I remember that. But over the years, counseling has become more accepted. And especially now in time of COVID, there's been a lot of people who have been accessing all of our services. Everybody is busy because all of a sudden people are overwhelmed, right? Yeah. So your friends they probably will think whatever they want to think, but this is for your health. This is for your mental health. And if your mental health is not functioning properly, your physical health will suffer. Yeah. It will suffer. So it's best you go in and not worry about your friends because they can't really do anything for you anyway. Your counselor will, your therapist will, your psychologist will. Those folks can point you in the right direction and help you to go step by step. Yeah. Forget about what your friends think or feel. Go take care of you.
Do you find a change? Do you find people now more open about talking? I think that's a part of it. We just have to destigmatize the fact that people access mental health care.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. In this time right now of COVID, I'm telling you, there have been people who tell me they've never even considered counseling. Yeah. But since COVID, they've been overwhelmed, with being at home with the children, trying to juggle work and home. Yeah. They've come in for help. And it's not just me. I mean, I know a lot of the other people out there, the other counselors, therapists, etc., are all seeing more people. Yeah. So it's not, the stigma is going down. And as we keep trying to ensure that we maintain confidentiality and we take care of the people well, people are coming in.
All right, what about this one? Very similar vein. Jenny, I feel like I'm experiencing a mental burnout. What can I do?
Okay, I would need more information than that, but let me just say this. Burnout usually happens when you take on too much, and we are into the too much syndrome. We want to carry, and especially as women, we want to juggle everything. We juggle family, we juggle work, we juggle play, we juggle everything, and we don't take care of ourselves. We take on more and more because, one, we're worried about losing our jobs in this time of period right now. We don't want to lose our jobs. We want to make sure that we are looked on as the employee who is very willing. And so, yes, we tend to go into burnout. What is burnout? Burnout is when I get so stressed out with all the work that I'm trying to juggle, and I just get this fatigue and I can't do anything. I go home and I'm so tired. I just don't feel like I can do anything. I can't take care of the kids. I just want to go to bed. I'm exhausted. I feel sad. I feel anxious. I feel all these things happening. And then I get up the next morning and I start heading to work, and I drive right past my job because I really don't want to go in there, because that's the biggest source of stress for me, right? So I have to take care of that before it gets to that point.
Yeah.
People have to learn, and we really need to learn to say no, and we have to have a point at which we say no, I can't handle any more than this. Get the children to help. Right? We talk about this a lot. Get the children to help in the home. Talk to the husband or the partner and say, listen, you need to help me. I am overwhelmed. And if I fall down, nothing's going to get done because I won't be able to do anything.
Yeah.
So speak up. Talk to the family, talk to the people in the home, get help. And especially if you feel like you're in total burnout right now, go see somebody. Please go see one of the ladies out there, one of the guys out there who are doing counseling.
All right.
So it's a good time to seek therapy if this is how you're feeling at this time.
Do it now before it gets worse, because it will get worse.
Yeah. But you know, Jen, sometimes it could be hard in the mind to actually choose what you need to do, whether be it partner, whether be it career. So somebody sent this one in. It says, Jenny, I'm having a hard time choosing between my career or relocating to be with my partner. What should I do?
Ooh.
I know, right? I know.
I feel for that person.
I feel for her. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. That's not a decision that I don't even want to give advice on that.
Okay.
You really need to talk with your partner, because one, if you're leaving your job here, right?
Well, we don't have all the details.
We don't have the details.
So maybe we talk about how to make tough decisions. Like decisions like this.
Yeah.
You know what I love with tough decisions? Get a sheet of paper, draw a line down the middle, write the pros and the cons. It gives you a visual. I really believe in visuals, because we are visual people in Belize, by the way. Yeah. So you put a line down the middle and put the pros and cons of going, the pros and cons of staying. And look at them, look at each one of those, and make your decisions based on facts that you have in front of you. Okay? That's a really good way. If your career, because what if you go over there and things don't work out and you've left your career? And I have people I know who did that.
Yeah.
They left really good jobs here, went to the U.S. to follow a partner who over there had gotten settled, and then they couldn't find a job when they got there. And they were sort of left high and dry. And the partner got upset because they weren't bringing in any funds and helping.
Yeah.
And it's a big decision, and you're not sure how that partner will react if you don't find work within, say, a few months. Yeah. So you really need to sit down with a sheet of paper and look at what are his qualities. Can you depend on him and trust him to be there to support you? I know I'm running on and on and on. Sorry about that.
Well, we got lots more to go, but no, I love that. Pros and cons. I'm a big list person. I think it works. But I'm so visual, so that's a part of it. I got to get to this one though, Jenny. Advice to give to mid-aged people on moving on from a toxic ex-husband.
Run that by me again.
Advice to give to mid-aged people on moving on from a toxic ex-husband.
Girl, listen to me. Middle age, when you get to middle age, a lot of people think that their lives are over. They'll never find another man. So they really hang on, no matter how toxic it is. Toxic it is. They will hang on. You hear what it is, an ex-husband, but they will still hang on. Let go. Let go. Middle age is only a number. You can go out there, take care of yourself, go exercise, eat right, get a support system. You don't even worry. In fact, I really strongly recommend you do not rush into another relationship for a while until you are healed, until you are strong, until you love you more than you love anybody else. And when you do that, you then are able to you meet the man of your dreams, someone who is not that toxic, poisonous person that you were with. But a lot of us just want to hang on to what we know, and a lot of times what we know is not good for us. Let it go.
And she defines it as toxic, so that means there's definitely some healing to do there.
Definitely.
She already knows. And it's just the fear. It's the fear of letting go of what I know for what I don't know is out there, and there might not be anything out there for me. Sweetheart, there's always something out there. I like to tell my folks this: hey, relationships are like buses. You let this one go because it was smoky and dirty and nasty seats, and the next one that comes along is air conditioned with nice seats, plush sheets. But you never know what else is going to come along, and if you don't give it the chance and you stay with that old toxic relationship, you're forever going to be riding in old dirty buses.
All right, get off the old dirty bus. I'm with you.
No, I'm thinking here, guys. But nonetheless, then we asked the first one was actually about moving with partner, whether career or moving with partner. But this one it's along the similar lines. But check this out. This one says, Jenny, I'm having a hard time balancing school and work. I want to quit school. What should I do?
Girl, you have to learn time management. Listen to me. Let me tell you something. School, education lifts you out of poverty. It helps you to get better jobs. You don't quit school for work. You try to balance it. You need to make sure that you have at least 15 hours of work to be able to help to pay your bills, etc., etc. You need to work. I understand that. But you don't want to quit school. Drop the number of hours then, but don't quit school. Because if you quit, then what happens? You lose momentum and it's hard to get started again. So don't quit school. Cut back on the number of hours if that's a problem, if you're really having a hard time. Ask for help. Get your support system to help you. If you have children, you have mom, grandmothers, people who can help you to take care of the kids while you go to school. If it's homework that's a problem, talk to your instructor. Make sure you understand everything you understand. Time management. You've really got to get with the time management. So you've got to have a calendar and you've got to have a plan of how you're going to manage your time. Manage your day. We tend to not do that. We kind of just sort of laissez-faire through the day. You cannot afford to do that when you're juggling work and school. But lots of us have done it. Lots of us. I'm one of them. And I had a child. So I was juggling a whole lot of stuff. But you get out there and you make sure you manage your time. Look at the superfluous things that you do, because I'm sure that you find time to go out and play with your friends,
or Netflix.
Sometimes on weekends, or go do you're sitting on the TV or whatever it is that you're doing. Make a plan and prioritize what's the most important thing to get done. Get those things done, and whatever time you have left over, make sure you have some time to relax, but prioritize and put it on paper. I'm telling you.
It's also, I don't know if it's good advice, but I also think sometimes mentally preparing yourself with time markers helps. It's like, okay, I'm gonna be managing 2 of these for a while, so for the next year, 2 years, I gotta do, it's gonna be extra, you know? And then I'll get there. So it's not like a forever thinking that my life is always gonna be this tough, managing school and work.
But please do not give up school. Do not give up school.
Agree.
Just cut back on the number of hours maybe you're carrying. Because sometimes we get, like overachievers, and we want to carry all these 4 courses in a semester, and I have work and I have children, and that's overambitious. You really want to maybe cut back on that, but use your support system. We all have some form of support system. Use it. Talk to these folks and ask them for their help.
All right, so I got one for you, and I know you're probably going to be helping out a lot of people here. My boyfriend has a baby mama that keeps interfering in our lives. What can I do other than to beat her? First of all, don't beat her. That's illegal.
Don't beat her.
But I hear from that question an intense frustration. Thank you. Yeah. But baby mama drama.
Yeah, that's a baby
Jenny,
mama
we could
right
give you
there.
the whole show for that one.
Oh, girl, that's not a 1 minute answer.
Okay, so the multiple sides here. Yeah, baby mama, baby daddy, and girlfriend. Yeah.
Yeah. Why are you even thinking about the baby mama? Talk to the man you live with. He has to control her. His baby is with her. Let him take care of that and tell him that you need to sit with him and find out from him what's important to him. Are you important? Are you an important part of his life? And let him know what's happening, right? Empower him to deal with that. You stay out of it. You stay out of it. What's John?
John is ready to counter that point.
Because I really like what you're saying, but probably the current wife or the current girlfriend might not be giving him the ability to sit down. Is it a choice? So she might want. The resolution might be exactly
I don't want
what
to
you're
run
saying.
your baby
yes,
mama at
the
all.
resolution might be exactly what you're saying, Jen. But I'm not being given the right of way to do that. What do I do?
Okay, there's something called the court system, because you, as a father, you have the right to access. She's the mother and the child is hers, right? Mm-hmm. But you have a right to access, and you can go through the court system to where you can have the child come visit you in your home with the woman that you currently live with. But you've got to talk with her because she's the one that's being challenged and being harassed. Yeah. So as the male, you really have to put her mind at ease. One, that you're not, the woman is harassing her. And I trust me,
assuming.
A lot of these cases.
Yeah, but it does happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I know about a lot of these cases.
Yeah, that's the assumption here. But at the same time, Jen, I'm saying that it becomes this situation whereby, yes, we know that we might be getting the baby, yes, but the child's mother is acting up. The resolution here is for me to go and have a conversation with the child's mother to calm down. But my current wife or girlfriend is not giving me the right of way to have a conversation with her to resolve the situation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's three sides here.
Jealousy comes in.
There's girlfriend who wrote this question, there's baby daddy, and there's baby mama.
Yes.
And you've said a few things. You said baby daddy has to sit down with baby mama. Well, no, you said girlfriend has to sit with baby daddy. Baby daddy has to sit with baby mama. But what happens, and this is a valid case, when girlfriend just is actually all about the jealousy and doesn't want any interaction. Or,
jealousy.
Yeah. So there's so many different.
So what does he do? What do he do? What do I do? I need to resolve this.
Well, I mean, you're choosing between your girlfriend and your child.
Your child, yeah.
Saying.
Listen, John, if this woman is so jealous that you can't go and resolve the problem, that you really got a problem. You have to make some decisions. Because yes, I do know that there are women out there who are so incredibly jealous that she doesn't even want the child to come to the home in a lot of cases, or doesn't want you to have any interaction with your child. But you as the man, you have to make the decision that this is your child. And so you will have to sit with that woman, the one that you're living with, and talk with the mother of the baby. Both of them, and say, look, this has to stop. The child is caught in the middle, and the child is caught in the middle. And depending on the age of the child, they are seeing the behaviors on both sides of her family. She's seeing it in the home with the stepmom, and she's getting it at home when she goes home with mommy, who is questioning her what happened over at the house and then calling and acting up. but it still rests with you because it's your child and you're the one caught in the middle and you're the one that has to manage your women.
Well.
Manage your women.
Yeah, well.
No, I'm telling you, that's probably one of the common
seriously,
dramas.
Yeah, it's common one.
Yeah, but
it's common, but you have to talk. You have to talk to both of them because it makes no sense. There's a baby caught up in the middle of all this.
And that's the situation.
There's a child caught up in the middle of all this.
So Jen, so while we I love the discussion, like that one. But let's
that's one that we really needed to. We need more time for.
Yeah.
Okay, but we can't. We don't have the time.
But
because that's also rules of engagement. When if you're starting to date somebody and you know they have children, you should already know what you're going to allow for.
Discussion.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's one of the things that we fail to realize. Look, from a male's perspective, I'll tell you what. You know, when you're approaching somebody and you want to have a relationship with them, there are a lot of things that you sweep under the rug. And it's all about giving that avenue, providing an avenue whereby we should be able to have conversations rather than to sweep things under the rug to try and get your way. When you get there, then things just come on out. So all these things, I think, plague a relationship, Jen.
Yep. Yes, they do. John, in our country, we don't like to talk. We we prefer to not discuss stuff. But there's a problem. If you're going out with a woman that's that jealous and she's jealous of the one you're living with, it seems like you pick up on women who are jealous. So you need to start doing some self-searching while you pick up on these types of women, right?
Yeah.
And have the conversation with both.
Yeah. And can we just say the most important thing here? Think about the kids. Yeah. That's always the part that bugs me. Of who's thinking about that child will grow up, thinking that there was a choice made where they were secondary, But let's move on.
Let's move
There's
on.
There's another work-related one.
I've got now. This one is actually about the workplace, Jenny, and it's very important. These are conversations because people are actually in the workplace. Now this says give tips on how to. Give tips on how to respond if you felt like a staff at your workplace disrespected your authority.
Ooh. Listen, there's a lot of very toxic workplaces.
Yeah.
There's a lot. And you have, if someone disrespects you in front of other staff members or in front of other co-workers, she says disrespected her authority, so she's probably a supervisor.
A manager, yeah.
You absolutely have to deal with that. But you do not want to deal with that in the presence of other people. You need to call her aside. And this is how I recommend. You have a conversation, a verbal conversation, and say, this is what happened, this is what you did, this is what I cannot accept. In the future, this is what you need to do, and let her know verbally what she needs to do. If it happens again, the second time, you give a written warning saying that we had this conversation before, but you persist in the behavior. Now I'm giving you a written warning.
Yeah.
Right. After that, you take it up the chain of command to other people, because then that means he has no intention of stopping the behavior.
Yeah.
So you have to put a stop to it and exert your authority. You're the supervisor. You do not allow that, because then other people in the workplace are going to also start doing it. And that really provides for some serious toxicity. You're going to be the one that ends up feeling ill, getting sick with all the stress of having to deal with your job, and then dealing with this person who's undermining, because that's undermining.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody's trying to undermine your authority to give this information. We froze for a second there, but let's move on to. I love that, and I think you're right. I think conversations go a long way. Sometimes people just leave behaviors without dealing with them, when you can just bell the cat and say, okay, this is what's happening, and move from there.
So we have some people. Let me just say this real
Go
quick.
ahead, yeah.
We have people who come from different parts of the city and the country who never learned that this kind of behavior is unacceptable, and you have to actually teach them about the behavior. One of the things you can do before you take it up the chain of command is maybe have somebody come in and do a workshop or do a seminar with all your workers, so you're not singling anybody out, and tell them what's appropriate and inappropriate behavior, and talk about the ethics of behavior and that kind of thing. And then if the behavior continues, take it up the chain of command. Do not wait. Don't.
All right. Here's another tough one. How do you know when you are ready for a child, or if the person you are with for years is?
Ladsa.
I swear right here, you say lobster, I don't want to know what happened.
Oh. But do you ever know when you're ready? I don't know. You go, Jenny.
That's a long conversation, Marlene.
I know. Well, I have to say they're on a different path already. A lot of people have children and they don't necessarily plan with timing at least. Yeah.
Right. It's great that she is looking at, am I ready?
Yeah.
First of all, I would say some of the things that you might want to do to see if you are ready. Check out your nieces and nephews and bring them to spend time with you.
Really?
Or your friends' babies. You want to especially get babies and have them come and spend the day with you.
Yeah.
And if that works out, maybe with one of your friends, say, okay, I'll keep the baby overnight for you. Find out how having a baby in the house that you have to get up and take care of. Okay, are you ready for that? Because it's a commitment. Children are a commitment.
Yes, lifelong.
What we do with them from 0 to 6 years old is critical. So it's really important that you are mentally prepared to be that baby. Essentially, that baby's guide is she's in control of you. He's in control of your life, at least through 6 years old.
Yeah.
It's a huge commitment. And so to find out if you are ready, that's one of the recommendations is to get your friends to bring their babies over and have that baby and spend time with the baby and see what that's like. Spend time with the ones that have the 2-year-olds, when they're going to their 2-year-old, learning to exert control in the home.
Oh gosh, that's a good one. Take care of a 2-year-old in the midst of a tantrum, and then see if you
take care of a 2-year-old. Have a 2-year-old come spend the day with you.
Does your population decline?
Jenny is specialized. My daughter is.
But you're almost never ready, right? I mean, from all the parents I talk to, even when they consider, even with planned children, you're almost never ready. Yeah.
But the thing is, if you don't know, that's one of the ways is to spend time with other people's children to see how you react to it. Because sometimes jumping from the work, from the work world and, being out there, being a party girl, you think, okay, it's time for me to settle down. But you really need to be prepared for that because it is a commitment. It's a baby.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
All right, we got one more here. Many times we are not aware that we may be experiencing symptoms of anxiety or depression. What are some key indicators to look for, and when do we seek help?
Okay. Let's look first at depression. You will seek help if it's beginning to be overwhelming. The signs of depression are if you are sad most of the time, the majority of your time you are sad. You just cannot shake that feeling of sadness.
Yeah.
You find that and sometimes something happens. Sometimes it's just that this is who you are from a long time ago. You just never went for any help.
Yeah.
Because there are people who just do not have their brains are not wired to be happy and jump around. There's not a lot of dopamine going on in their brain.
They don't have the chemical.
Right. So these folks will suffer in silence. They close up. Their windows are constantly closed up, and they want to sleep. They just want to be in their bedroom by themselves, or they'll curl up and go to sleep. It's this overwhelming feeling of sadness, though. They go to work, they try to go to work, but they cannot function because they can't concentrate. They cannot, at the workplace, the people bother them. It's like everything bothers them. If it's become overwhelming and it's lasting, if it's lasted for more than, I would say, a month, go to the psychiatric unit. They can provide medication. We can't. We can do counseling, but there are some people who need to have the medication, and so clearly, folks need to go over to the clinics, go see a private doctor, and describe their symptoms, right? And usually, most times, you will see it when they come in. You see the depression; it's so palpable. And worse than that, a lot of times, people who stay in that depressed state become so tired of feeling like this. It leads to them just beginning to think about suicide.
That's true.
So I really would recommend that if you've been in this state for a little while, go see somebody. You lose nothing by checking.
Absolutely.
Now
and sometimes people have high functioning depression or high functioning anxiety, like they mask it so well.
Oh yes, they do. They do. And the thing is that a lot of times the family members miss it. They miss it. They just know something's a little off, but they're not real sure because the person goes to work and they try their best to do the very best that they can. In the workplace, you really have to be aware at subtle differences in the people who work for you. In the workplace, people can see it. They will see it because you're there most of the time. When you go home, they live by themselves and just go in and lock up themselves and go to bed and not eat, because one of the things is they can't eat, can't sleep, or they eat very little and sleep very little. Or you have the other ones who will just eat, and seriously, there's some people who, when they're depressed, they eat more. So it's really critical. Don't suffer. There's no need to suffer. There's medication, and there are people out here who can help you. Please go in and see someone. Now, with the anxiety, that's another one. That's a different. The symptoms are a little bit different in that these are people who worry about everything. It consumes them, right? They also will talk about having panic attacks. And the panic attacks, they say they feel like they're dying because they can't catch their breath. It's so painful in the chest. They feel like they're really having a heart attack. These folks, seriously, if you're having anxiety attacks and you're suffering from anxiety, please go get help. Please go get help, because you're having increased heart rate. Sometimes they're sweating profusely.
And they can just live a better quality of life if they seek help.
Yes, you owe it to yourself to have a better quality of life. You owe it to yourself.
You deserve it.
Yes.
All right. So I think are we going to do one more, two more? We need some. Okay.
One more.
Get the next question up. Let's see it. We have a lot more to get into. Let me see. What's the next question? The next question is, Jenny, I'm a young manager managing an older staff that's reluctant. What's your advice?
Okay. You're a young manager managing an older staff, and older people think they know it all.
It's that, or they stay in your way, Janet. It's that, or they stay within how they knew things from back then.
From way back when.
So.
And they're stuck. A lot of times they're stuck. As a younger person, though, I want to encourage you to show respect. Show respect, but gently guide the person and say, there are newer ways of doing things, and this is the way that we do them now. And you work with them because they have a lot of good stuff that they can offer. Okay. Now, if it's something that they're totally resistant to change and they're resistant to working, you really need to call them in and sit with them, say, listen, the company, this is how we do things. We have to do things for financial reasons, for saving time. We're using a computer. We're no longer using a typewriter. And you really need to sit and talk with the person, right? And really give a lot of encouragement. And then if that doesn't work, then you'll have to take stronger measures. Maybe go to human resources and have them go see someone and talk to a counselor. Because a lot of times that's the only way to reach a lot of older people, because they really feel like they know and they have the knowledge about the company and they're housing that knowledge. So it's a lot of, you have to teach them about respect backwards and forward. Because as older people, you have to respect the young upcoming people who have the new knowledge and all the new information. But you have to communicate that with them in a respectful, kind, loving way.
I love that you start with that, because the key part is not, it's intergenerational interaction. And it's respect that goes both ways, you know. There is a value in experience, and there's a value in youthful energy, and it's bridging that gap.
Indeed. You're right.
And so it's mutual respect and teaching mutual respect. And as the young manager, if he's not getting it, refer him to human resources and say, I'd really like him to go see someone and talk about that, and let the counselors deal with him.
All right, we're going to do one more just for fun, but we're going to give you a really short one because it's not fun. I just mean that it's such a common issue. Jenny, my boyfriend has countless conversations with his baby mama to try and resolve our issues, but she keeps coming for me, posting things on social media about me. There's your closer. There's your kicker for today.
Oh, these baby mamas, I tell you.
We could have a baby mama drama show.
And you know what? Unfortunately, she probably won't stop if you show her. It's bullying. She's bullying.
She's bullying. Yeah, you're right. You're totally right.
The bottom line is, if you let her know it's bothering you, she will keep doing it. So just keep ignoring her. Ignore her.
That's the bottom line.
And as you ignore her, because that's how you handle bullies.
That's right.
If you let a bully know that they are getting at you, and they will keep pushing at that.
That's what they're looking for.
So don't give her the satisfaction of thinking that she has gotten to you. Ignore her.
All right.
No shade.
And you swipe that curtain just now.
It means that no shade returned for the social media post.
Ignore her. That was a curtain right there. Ignore her.
Swipe right? Okay, Jenny. So that's all the questions we can get to for today. There are a few more, but we're kind of opening the door on it. We know people want to get, even if just a new perspective on an issue that they're facing. And of course, as a mental health therapist, you're best equipped to do so. So
I am not the seat of wisdom, okay?
I know, but that's why I said perspective. We're not telling people what to do. We're just seeing it in different ways.
Totally right. But Jen, thank you so very much for joining us this morning. We missed you, and welcome back.
All right.
I have to see you guys. Mwah, mwah.
All right. We need to take a break, but when we come back, we will. Then again, would you like to know how to get your immune system all boosted up, especially that we're in a pandemic? Cornelia Marfield is in the studio. I see coconut oil on the table. Woo.
I see
what else?
Grapefruit? Orange?
Grapefruit.
Orange. All right. None of us guessed right earlier, but we'll find out after the break.
We'll come back, and when we come back, we'll deal with that. All right? Stay with us. We'll be right back.
These are the people who I want to appeal to. Make those little slips. It happens. You have to have a plan to manage your problems effectively. How are you going to do it? Fall off the horse? Jump right back on.
Working off-site doesn't mean you have to be off your game. Studies have shown that simply adding a keyboard and mouse to your laptop increases productivity by 26%. Add a monitor, and you'll be 35% more productive. At Fulltech Systems, we have what you need to enhance your remote work or e-learning experience. With devices such as headsets, video conferencing monitors, webcams, keyboards, mice, docking stations, all with the brands you trust. Keep connected with collaboration tools like Microsoft 365 Suite and Kaspersky and perform efficiently no matter where you are. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
Infinite Health presents Common Sense Herbs, everything your body needs, and are all natural, dairy-free, non-GMO, cruelty-free, gluten-free, and are FDA monitored. Everything your body needs. Distributor in Belize, Infinite Health, Birdseye, Belize City. Telephone number 613-1914. That's 613-1940.
Smart continues to expand its internet coverage countrywide to help you live a smarter life.
Our villagers are very happy. They are pleased to know that Smart went the extra mile to put a tower in our village so that our villagers can get live stream on their TVs and they can get their kids doing their online classes. I want to say to Smart, thank you for making it possible for us to get internet in Gardena village. We really do appreciate it.
Smart continues to take the internet and mobile services to communities across Belize. Now save even more when you bundle your Smart broadband with Smart mobile services. Smart, bringing people together.
2020 taught us the importance of being connected to the virtual world, and NextGen is here to keep its commitment to you. Even if you're physically apart, NextGen keeps you digitally connected.
Okay, everyone, thank you for following me today.
NextGen provides more than just an internet plan. They provide service plans that support all your online needs. Sign up today and get your NextGen's ultra high-speed internet service. NextGen, powered by Central TV and Internet.
Been drinking all night. Don't drive. Feeling so high. Don't drive. Better not drive. Don't drive. Won't even try. Don't drive.
Been drinking all find my own way. I'm not going with ya. It's okay, I'll wait. Even good people make mistakes. I don't wanna realize when it's too late. Drinking and driving is never safe. If you're drinking and driving, I'm not going with ya. If you're drinking and driving, I'm not going with ya. Been drinking all night, don't drive. Feeling so high, don't drive. Better not drive, don't drive. Ain't gon' try, don't drive. Been drinking all night, don't drive. Feeling so high, don't drive. Better not drive, don't drive. Ain't gon' try, don't drive.
And we're back, just like that, we're back, and we're moving now into our second segment for the morning. Now, this guy's in with us. That is Dr. Cornelio Marfield. Now, you know, whenever he is in, there is something good to talk about when it comes to getting your body dealt with the right way. Now,
we're just happy to see tangerines.
Yes, how to boost your immune system. He's got to know it how. Dr. Marfield, good morning and welcome.
It's good to be back, guys.
It's always good to have you, man.
I was looking back at some of our past pictures. I said, man, this is all, I'm all excited to be here.
Well, listen, I know that when you talk about moringa, and the last time you brought in the stevia plant,
Yes,
that was
you did.
definitely something that I got a whole lot of questions about. Yeah.
Excellent.
But you have spent a lot of time investigating the health benefits of different foods and herbs, right? Let's just take a quick moment to step back and figure out why this is something that is so near and dear to you.
Right. Well, I mean, my dad passed from cancer, which is a compromised immune issue, and I've had many family members who have died from other related issues that deals with immunity. So that was one of my triggering points to go and study, you know. At that time, I was still a biology and chemistry teacher, and I was trying to figure out certain things as I see him going through the process of death. And it kind of stimulated my thoughts to go and start to dig and research. And so by the time I decided to go and do medical missionary training first, then thereafter I went and become a naturopathic doctor. This has always been one of my baby, looking at how we can keep the immune system boosted, because the truth is, if we have a compromised immune system, not just COVID will affect us, but a lot of host of other things will help break down our whole respiratory, cardiovascular, and other areas of our body. So yes, indeed, Marlene, that was one of my triggering points. But apart from that, being a naturopath, I love natural things, and I love to see people well.
Yeah. All right. You know, you've been working very closely with people like the Diabetes Association and enhancing. I mean, I think a lot of times people think alternative medicine or traditional medicine, but the middle ground is complementary. That's one of the things that we move towards.
That's right, and especially in this time and age where we are still not sure what is the best method yet, because we are in, especially if we are talking about COVID. COVID is still in its, everything about COVID is still experimental per se. Even vaccination or even other treatments, we are still not 100% what can do what, and we know that there are different variants that we are looking at in now and in the future. What I can say is this body is amazing. It is marvelously, it is wonderfully built, and it has the ability to detect any foreigner, which we call antigen in our language. If it detects it, once it gets nearby or enter our line of defense, which is our skin, and in this case, nasal cavity and other areas, the body is able to create natural immunity to fight against that. And that is amazing. Actually, I know I'm probably going all about here today, but I just decided to do some research about natural immunity. This is the World Health Organization website. Recently dated May the 21st. And I was looking this year, 2021, at the different studies that are there. And they said in terms of natural immunity, so within 4 weeks following infection, 90 to 99% of individuals infected with the star COVID virus developed detectable neutralizing antibodies.
Yeah. Wow.
We're talking about natural, you know. We're not talking about anything else yet. So, and
after they recover.
Right,
Yeah.
certainly.
Yeah.
All right. Now we know that some people die. That's with everything. The flu kills many people every year.
Yeah.
Right? The cancer kills many people every year.
Yeah.
So we know based on the way you were protecting your body prior, and prevention is always better than cure. So I think when we look at this kind of presentation, that is what we are dealing with. We are trying to prevent more chronic issues if you already have viruses, and not just COVID, but viruses. There are all kinds of viruses out there. HIV, there is, you know, influenza, all of this.
HIV is such a great example to use. And I always, when I talk about immunity, or you talk about building up your immunity, it's like you're sending out your army to fight whatever disease you come in contact with.
Right.
How strong do you want your army to be? Do you want to be its weakest when you're lacking sleep, eating unhealthy, not exercising? Or do you want it to be full with as much nutrients as possible?
I think you're going right down the line we want to go, Marlene.
I know.
I have to let Marlene come and work with me. And yes.
Or you counter the bad habits that you have with good food as well.
And not only is it what we are eating that can compromise our immune system or build it, but also what's eating us out. I like the presentation prior to this one because it focused a lot on the psychological and mental issues we're dealing with during this time. And especially during this time, people are losing their job, so the baby daddy, mommy thing kick in, who want to do child support, who want to do this one, they try to do X, Y, and Z. These things create stress. The virus itself have its own way of distributing fear, anxiety, tension, depression, you know, and a host of mental issues. And I decided to do some studies on that too. And I went to the American Psychological Association, and what they were saying is that during this time, they did some research and they showed that people immunity is dropping so severely from since all of this started.
Because of stress.
Because of the high level of stress. And what the psychologists, they said here is that there is a dialect. They said the psychologists in this field of the psychoneuroimmunology have shown that the state of the mind affects one's state of health.
Absolutely.
So there's a direct relationship. And it continues to go on to tell you what all it does. It will affect mental health, memory, brain processing, reactivity. But not only that, it will also weaken one immune system, cardiovascular system, gastrointestinal system, and the list goes on, causing premature aging and even death.
Wow. That's definitely an eye-opening information that that you're sharing there.
Right.
But important to note that that we could do simply natural stuff to get our immune system boost.
Right.
I wanna bring it back because I think that this is a time where we know that some people have been following this career for a long time. Yourself, you're one of them. And then there's some who kind of just come up with magic elixirs that are they say will cure everything. My question is, when you're talking about putting something together, what's the process that you go through to figure out what the right ingredients are and how it'll be safe for everyday people?
I love that. You notice me, when I will come, I have a host of... I'm going to research. I'm not just going to talk off at the top of my head. I'm going to research. So
let's talk about some of the things that we know are good, that will help to boost our immune system.
All right. So across the board, everybody knows vitamin C and vitamin D are your first thing, right? I think you'll get two of those today.
Okay. Carefully peeling.
All right, great. There you go. But generally, we know vitamin C is so critical in this time.
Orange or citrus, right?
All your citrus.
Orange, tangerine, lime, grapefruit.
Okay.
A serving every day, which would involve 2 to 3 of these variety of fruit, is excellent. And vitamin C is loaded in a lot of other things, even pineapple, even current mango that is in season. All right, loaded with vitamin C. So you want, and the thing is why you need daily intake of vitamin C. Vitamin C and vitamin B comes on what is called the soluble vitamins. You have water-soluble vitamins and you have fat-soluble vitamin. Vitamin B and C are water-soluble vitamin, meaning that when they get into the system, they will the rest, the excess will go out through urination and other areas of sweating, etc. So you need to replenish daily.
So vitamin C daily.
And if you're going to go, like in the case I have here promoting, I am a distributor for 4Life. This was one of my greatest sellers last year. the Life C.
Yeah.
It's chewable vitamin, antioxidant, and immune booster in one.
Okay.
And so some people might not get this, but like for the elderly, maybe this would be a good suggestion. You can get up to 100 milligrams, which is a daily requirement for most people who don't get it from their dietary. If you're getting vitamin C already from fruits, I would suggest 500 milligrams max.
Okay.
Then you have vitamin D's, of course, which is also good. So like this is D3.
Yeah.
D3 has also been shown to build the immunity. Fortunately, we live in a very tropical environment, so we get a lot of sunlight. We know sunlight helps with creating vitamin D in our body. The sun doesn't have vitamin D, the sun just have UV rays.
Yeah.
But when that hits the skin, we have estradiol and a lot of other stuff that are converted with that UV light to create vitamin D.
Okay.
So vitamin D has been shown also to help with what is called the AEC receptors that deals with COVID.
Okay.
And there are so much studies I could show you how this is another website which shows here. This one is headline.com, and what it shows is that the people who were taking vitamin D supplements and C during their COVID diagnosis had a better chance of recovery.
Wow.
Including recovery from respiratory distress.
Okay.
That's critical.
Tell you, it's a strong army.
It's
That's
a
what we gotta
strong
do,
army. So this is very critical to understand, and especially those who got it. One more thought through intravenous or IV.
The D.
The vitamin C.
Okay.
Once you get that intravenous, that goes straight to the bloodstream, and that immediately, let's say a stealth bomber.
Yeah.
That's your, he's coming like a harrier, he's getting in there. Like, let's see what we can do. Let's eliminate what we can do. Let's boost our soldiers up.
Okay.
So that is critical.
I
You had
was going to
something to
ask
say.
about D. You said, D is something that we can get. Are there foods that we can integrate that will help us there too?
Yes, so there are certain things, certain dairy products, and like eggs having vitamin D. There are some fortified foods. Some milk come with fortified D in it.
Yeah.
So you can look at what is on
calcium
your
and D.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Excellent question. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about ashwagandha. I don't know if you're familiar with this.
I have no idea what
I get
that
this
is.
from
Sound like a country.
I know, right? There's a place called Better Me Belize in Belmont, and it's right in front of 99. A good friend of mine, such good colleagues that is into health too. He has a host of these what we call superfood, and ashwagandha is a good thing to fight
Indian
disease.
ginseng.
Yes, it has in a number of stuff in there, but what it does, it helps to relax the nerves.
Okay.
Which is also an issue with immunity. If you have nerve issues and you can't relax, then your immune system breaks down more easily.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it really, and even environmental issues and chemical issues. So this is a very good thing, good for reproductive health. I want to give you guys a homework. Every time I come, I bring something different and new. That's your new homework, Miss Marlene. Ashwagandha. This is one of the new superfood on the market. The last time we spoke about turmeric.
Yeah.
Turmeric is very good. Now let me say something before we'll get into
yellow ginger.
Yellow ginger. But
this is regular ginger.
this is how generally a COVID. You have the envelope of any virus, and then you have these spectacles on it, or what we call
like
spike protein spikes.
Yeah.
So what makes the virus so effective is that what it does, it will go by these receptors. Like we have here, the ACE receptors, and it gets there, and it has the ability to penetrate your cells. Once it penetrates the cell, it gets inside and take over your water tank. Just like what HIV used to do. Well, it still does. Now they have AZTs and other chemicals to fight that, which are blockers, by the way. So what I have been studying with a lot of the drugs and vaccines and other things that are currently used, ivermectin and a number of other things, AstraZeneca and all of them, what the idea is to see how we can prevent even from allowing this spike protein to enter those receptors at the cell, so that they don't get inside and take over your army. Because if they go inside, take over your water tank, then how you will fight?
So that's how it works.
So the idea is
that's why COVID is so hard to
right, and not only that, the current strand that we're dealing with, we haven't even gone to the Delta strand or the Delta Plus that they're talking about in India. What is currently happening too is that normally influenza, for example, which is just typical cold that we would talk about, that used to have to go to the nucleus, which is the capital, get in there, disassemble it and all of that. what they believe is that the COVID can actually go to the ribosome, which is a
Okay, now
group
you're
of,
talking.
another language.
Yeah.
Well, this is basic biology, man. You learn this when you study the cell. Ribosomes are there right in the cells, and they don't even go to the capital. They go right that 8 miles.
That's
all
it.
right? And they get in quickly. And then they get in there and they disassemble, and what they do, they replicate themselves. The thing is, like with HIV/AIDS, most viruses are not really what killer is the opportunistic disease. People need to understand it. Even with current cases, it's a pulmonary distress which is caused by a lot of bacteria. Pneumonia is generally from bacterium. So you have to understand that what the system is doing is so weak now, then everybody's sorry. Everybody is coming. Oh, this is, make you come in and have a jolly good time. And then that causes inflammation, because now more soldiers are trying to fight your alveoli, which are your breathing agents in your lungs. Millions of them. They get so saturated with all that fluid, mucus, and that's where the respiratory distress kicks in. Devastation.
Correct.
So I want to go back to that because I know why you're saying it, because we want to talk about
things that
how
can stop that.
help. Yeah.
Right.
But we don't want to run out of time for doing
Sure. So we'll do a recipe.
So you got turmeric powder and you got turmeric natural. Which one is better to use?
For me, anyone is, because one is granulated from that. But generally, I like this. This is organic, by the way.
Okay.
Organic comes with a price, but it's a good thing to have. Locally, you can get $2 for a pound of this at the market, and you only need an inch of it in every concoction that I'm going to show you today.
Okay.
This is more pulverized, more concentrated, 1/8 of a teaspoon maximum you need for the day.
Okay.
Very good, not just in juices that I'm going to show.
My next question is, which one is better? Regular ginger or yellow ginger?
They believe yellow ginger has in something that the other one don't have, and that is curcumin. Curcumin is not just a antioxidant or immune booster, but it's also anti-inflammatory.
Okay.
And it's a more potent form of that. So for that, the curcumin that is found in that yellow ginger or turmeric is what kind of separate him from the ordinary ginger. But both of them are also antiviral.
This one is still good.
Excellent. Good.
This one is just a little bit better.
That is a little bit better.
And has a prettier color.
And has a prettier color and some prettier fancy name, right? In it, curcumin. So that's one of the things. And like I had here on this, right, it regulates viral transcription, bind with high potency, the viral main protease. Not a big word there, enzyme. And the key is again to inhibit the replication. So that is what that does. Then
so let's start with the recipe and we'll keep on talking.
All right. So I'm going to put some of this in there. So let me just quickly say this.
Elderberry.
You know about elderberry. All right. You heard about elderberry. And what elderberry?
I love to follow these things.
Elderberry stops the attachment of particular virus, and in this case also COVID virus, to these ACE receptors, which just is a big word, angiostensin converting enzyme. So it stops that and it prevents it from going in there. That's one of the functions of elderberry. And then I have dandelion.
But we got to be clear, because you don't want people to think that they'll take it and they won't get COVID. This we got to do everything else.
Well, let me say this.
This is going to help.
This is the CDC website. The CDC, listen to what the CDC website says. Listen to this. Expert, the question was, how long does protection from COVID vaccine last? This is a CDC website. Go in there, go on the question and answer. And it says we don't know how long protection lasts for those who are vaccinated. What we do know is COVID has caused very serious illness and death for a lot of people. If you get COVID-19, you are also at risk giving it to your loved ones who may get sick. Getting a COVID vaccine, therefore, is a safer choice. Experts are working to learn more about both natural immunity and vaccine-induced immunity. CDC will keep the public informed as new evidence become available.
Okay.
So what it is saying is that none of these, that's why somebody can get reinfected even after vaccinated. Now you're understanding. So we want to continue boost our immune system, vaccinated or not vaccinated. You want to do the other things, wash your hand properly, right?
Wear your mask.
Keep your social distancing, and you know, avoid all the crowds and stuff. You know about echinacea, right?
Yeah.
Echinacea
we make this locally?
Well, you can get it locally, but normally I import those. That is why I want to tell you that the new concoction, I had an antiviral out when COVID started, and like I said, it was just to help boost people's immunity. Worse, at that time, there weren't any vaccinations, so it became an excellent seller for me. But what I have in this immunity, and I just started this with, I do 2 days clinic days out in Spanish Lookout now with a health center out there called Shining Star Health Center. And what it does is I put these concoction of these dandelion echinacea. It's a new thing on the market.
Okay.
And again, I put it right at the health food store here in Belize at the Santos Diaz.
Okay.
I have it up there, and I also have it in Spanish Lookout. But what I'm saying is that these things afford the ability of the body to use what is already there. Your soldiers are activated to work harder for you.
We wanna boost ours, so we need.
All right, so we need a demonstration. we need a demonstration.
Keep talking, but we gotta get moving.
So you help me move then. I want you guys to
what we need?
cut up the oranges. Let's start there.
You have a job.
Right.
Cut up the oranges.
So this concoction would be good for 2 persons.
So we're looking at getting in. I see onion.
Yeah, we'll talk about
we got onion, we got garlic, we got yellow ginger and ginger, lime, orange, and tangerine.
So, and normally, and like I said, I used to make an immune boosting antiviral shot when COVID started, and I used. Yes, yes.
That one I could do.
All right, good. All right, I prefer it cut door so that we don't have a lot of pulp.
Oh, you want me to cut it?
Yes.
Oh.
You can eat that one, Marlene, but Marlene, they behave like a bad pick this side of it with this tangerine.
Clearly, I love it, right?
Right.
Okay,
so again, not like when you do your freshly squeezed juice, because you will not get in. If you buy juices at the store, you might get excess sucrose, which is not something you want, or glucose. And I want to say this for the record too. On that CDC website, you should check the different components that are found in your vaccination, because sucrose is also in there. So that's a concern for me, because sucrose is a sugar, and there are some other binding factors and preservative in there along with your spike
I've never
proteins.
cut a tangerine like that.
Right.
Yeah, but it looks pretty much the same.
So I am making
we're gonna
this.
take out the seeds?
Yes, kindly. So we are making a antiviral immune boosting drink today, and I'm not suggesting that this is the cure for COVID. What I'm suggesting is that it can help boost your immune system to fight any virus.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying here. Are we clear on what I just said?
Of
Clear.
course.
All right, good.
We need any more oranges? Are we good?
That's good. So
right.
let's do
Here are the
3 oranges
tangerines.
then. All right.
Okay,
So that's
so
3 oranges. Yeah.
All right, 3.
So let's do this, and then we'll see how we'll share this up. All right. So I am.
So first step is getting in vitamin C. That's a tangerine.
Yes.
And do you want lime?
Yes, we'll need half a lime. So this, or if it's for 1 person, we'll do 3 oranges. We'll do 1 tangerine or a grapefruit. I want to get at least 3 citruses in, no? There you go.
Lime, tangerine,
orange. Well, orange got
orange
already.
is already in.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
So do we need the onion?
Yes, we need half of an onion. Don't worry, Marlene.
I don't know. That's an interesting mix there.
Yes. And we want to dice it up properly for me.
Oh, you got to dice it too? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Good job.
Good. I like to see this. I like to see you guys working. That's
All
what.
right, because we're running out of time so quick
Right,
too.
right.
So we got garlic and ginger and yellow ginger.
So-
Which one do you want?
So what we are going to do is 1 inch of the
Yellow
turmeric.
ginger.
Yeah, the yellow ginger or turmeric. About 1 inch. Yeah. And again, we cut that up.
All right. So
Okay, John. Let's see if you'll cry. Sit the left.
So you chew chewing gum when you're cutting onion.
Do you want garlic?
Just 2 plugs.
All right. well,
So we are doing
that's
3 oranges. We are doing 1 citrus, another citrus, which would, in this case, I'm using tangerine, or you could have done your grapefruit. And then we are going to do onion and garlic. And the reason is onion and both garlic, onion and, they have what we call antiviral effects too.
Okay.
All right. Cut this up a little for me, guys.
All
right.
Today.
Yeah, and then what else we need? So I gonna season up now. So I put in my cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is a vasodilator, by the way. So what that does, that help open the blood vessels for the absorption of this concoction, which is important.
I've heard a lot about cayenne pepper as a health food.
Yes.
If people don't like pepper, can they still tolerate it?
Of course.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit of pepper, and then I just do a 2 spoons of honey for this. And especially if you're giving it to a child, they might want a little something in there. So
we got your turmeric, onion and garlic.
All right, good. 1 sec. All right, so let's get some garlic in here. Some turmeric. Okay, and I don't need all of that onion. That's good.
Okay.
Good.
There's a little bit more.
Yes, put that in there for me, kindly.
All right.
Good. So we are about to mix this concoction, and this gets more interesting now. We are going to put a little bit of coconut oil in it.
All right.
All right. Let's see how this works.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
These are not things I would think about putting together.
Yes.
Sounds like one of those tip of the tongue tasters we
Yes,
want to do.
yes.
All right.
This is what I am doing from a little boy. You know, I have been mixing stuff, so I've been prepared for such a time as this. Even this fat belly burner has in 8 compounds, and that will probably need a whole topic by itself.
Okay.
But that's a good concoction. All right.
Tip of the tongue taster here.
I think I got in everything. So orange, 3 orange, 2 tangerine, some onion, garlic, turmeric, cayenne pepper, a little bit of
honey
and coconut
oil. All right.
Now you see what all you got. You get at least 2 8-ounce from that concoction just now.
Okay.
All right. Moment of truth, right?
Yes.
All right, Marlene, you have to be the taster. I promise you won't die. I never hear anybody die for vitamin C.
All right.
All right.
What I'm gonna do?
I'll take this one for the tea.
Yes, I could pour some right in here.
Or we could use the spoon if you want.
No man, it's all good. All right, you know how
All
we do
right.
it right there.
They're getting you a cup.
Okay. That was good enough.
Yes.
Actually, you know what?
I'm scared. Onion and garlic and orange.
That's good. That's good.
It's better than.
And that's because I only put this a little bit of honey.
Oh.
I know,
you don't
yeah,
taste,
you know.
it tastes all like it tastes like orange.
Right.
It tastes like orange.
And then there's that garlic.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
tastes like garlic in
again, the garlic is important in there because the garlic has a lot of antimicrobial property.
Yeah.
I mean, garlic will knock out anything. Yeah, garlic the old school, right?
Yeah.
And you could use the powder too if you don't want to use the fresh garlic.
And not only that, like, I mean, I'm
And
hesitating.
remember,
It doesn't taste bad.
this is medicinal property.
Exactly, and that's what I was going to say.
We-
We drink a lot of things that we don't like the taste of.
Yes, including
you
belly
know,
skin and anything with it.
Exactly. And if you're going to get a shot of something that's really going to help get your nutrients in for the day,
And build your immunity. Remember, we are building your immunity. We are not drinking this for taste. We are drinking this for health.
Yeah.
Once we understand, all right, this is not
we
a
drink
soft
Saka.
drink.
If you could shot the tequila, this is like a breeze.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can always sweeten to your taste. Like if you feel like you need a little bit more honey or a child, because I'm always thinking about children, you know, you have to kind of tease their taste bud.
All right.
So how
All right.
often you should
Let's
drink?
recap.
Oh, all right. So how often? Normally, if a person is coming down with flu-like symptoms, I recommend at least 2 to 3 teaspoons on the hour dosage.
On the hour.
Yeah, and the reason for that is what that will do, that will help to bring up a lot of the mucus that might already start to be forming. That's the rule.
Okay, I want to recap our ingredients because we're getting
We're
ready
quickly
to
running
wrap
out of
up
time,
the
yeah.
show.
All right, so
we
we're-
did 3 oranges,
3 oranges,
1 tangerine,
1 tangerine,
half a lime,
half a lime,
2 plugs of garlic,
right, half a
Turmeric.
onion chopped,
half an onion chopped, and the 1 inch of
1
turmeric.
inch of turmeric or 1/8 of the turmeric powder, and we put
Dash
in some
of
cayenne
cayenne,
pepper,
dash of
and
coconut oil,
and 2 teaspoons of honey,
and then some
and
honey to
blend
sweeten
that
it all
together.
up.
Okay.
And let me tell you, you can definitely drink it. I was worried about that onion
Garlic,
in there.
I think you were about the garlic and the
I
onion.
love garlic. I was worried about the onion.
Yeah.
But if you don't taste the onion, you taste, it's like all orange juice and then you have a flavor of garlic
It's
in the
sweeter
end.
than I expected, literally, because of the oranges. And
Right,
it's
right.
And there you
sweeter than I
have it.
expected.
And that's another point, no?
Immunity booster, ram jam packed with vitamin C and a whole lot of other things. And you know, I know we're rushing now, but thank you so much for joining us. You always bring so much information, and we are grateful for it. Thank you, Cornelio.
I'm happy to share, right?
And people can always find you on your Facebook page.
Yes, I have a Facebook page, Cornelio Health Vision Marfield, and you can contact me at 625-4231.
All right.
I have my office right here in Belmopan. I'm behind the Election and Boundary Building now. Attached to it, Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Tuesdays and Thursdays at the Shining Star Health Center in Spanish Lookout.
That's
Cornelio,
right. Cheers
thank
to
you.
good health.
Cheers to good health. Yes, I'll cheers along with you.
All right.
But we've got to take a break. When we come back, we'll be discussing love, sex, and intimacy. That's the top. That's when we come back.
Introducing Edam A cheese, the A+ Dutch cheese to hit the Belizean market. As the name says, it is of A-class quality, the best Dutch cheese in Belize. Edam A cheese is creamier, less salty, and simply more delicious. Don't be left out. Get your A cheese at a supermarket near you. A cheese, exclusively distributed by Unitex Company Limited. Call us at 610-3626 or 610-8910. Follow us on Facebook at Unitex Belize.
Es un hecho. Únicamente con Smart obtienes todo realmente ilimitado. Solo con Smart obtienes datos ilimitados en cualquier momento. Mientras que con el otro proveedor solo son datos dobles los fines de semana. Con datos ilimitados todos los días no hay necesidad de esperar, así que es un hecho que nuestros planes ilimitados superan a la competencia. Por lo tanto, no permita que le digan cómo y cuándo usar sus datos. Y obtenga llamadas, mensajes de texto y datos ilimitados. Vive la verdadera experiencia de planes ilimitados con Smart. Es un hecho. Haga el cambio y viva Smart.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Andrea Polanco, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because news is now everywhere, all the time. And so are we.
Good morning, sweetie. It's time for school.
Are you a teacher or public sector employee who is thinking of owning your new home? Get the keys to your new home with Belize Bank's all-inclusive mortgage, the best financing option in Belize for your new home purchase or construction. Inclusive of all mortgage-related fees, no down payment, affordable terms, amazingly low interest rates. Visit our nearest branch to speak to one of our financial advisors to discuss how you can be one step closer to owning your new home. Some conditions apply.
Belize has the highest population of the Antillean manatee in the world, and we'd like to keep it that way.
The Sea to Shore Alliance and our partners have been fighting to protect our environment and these endangered manatees.
Each year, however, their death rate continues to increase rapidly due to watercraft collision, destruction of coastal habitat, entanglement in fishing gears, garbage pollution, and poaching. Yes, poaching.
These animals are in dire trouble and they need our help.
It's our responsibility as Belizeans to protect what belongs to us.
In order to create a safe environment and future for our aquatic friends, we must act now.
Respecting no-wake zones and manatee habitat is important.
Practice sustainable fishing methods and properly discard damaged fishing gear.
People throw garbage everywhere, except in the garbage can.
Garbage stops here.
When we safeguard important habitats such as mangroves, seagrass beds, the barrier reef, and our marine lives, we are safeguarding our livelihoods.
I want you to look after my future. What about me?
When I grow up, I want to see manatee.
We are asking for your support. And we thank you for recognizing the importance of manatees and their habitats.
Thank you for caring.
Big thank you from our aquatic friends.
I am a humanitarian.
I am a humanitarian.
We are humanitarians.
Protect. Protect. We protect.
We should protect our manatees.
We must protect them. Protect what belongs to us. Protect ours.
Protect your manatees, please.
All right, and we are back, and we're now moving into our third and final segment for the morning. Now, some folks might find it strange because what the topic is actually a talk about love, sex, and intimacy. That's the talk. Now, what is it about? What about it is, people might find it taboo. But in with us, we've got Ashley Longsworth. She is a marriage and family therapist. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, guys. Thank you for having me today.
Nice to have you in with us.
Especially on a platform like this to have this kind of discussion.
Yeah. And so you've teamed up with Counseling and Psychology Services, Deshane Gutierrez, who we usually feature on the show.
Have her here.
And you guys are having a talk about one of the critical elements of relationships.
Yeah.
And that's love, sex, and intimacy.
Yeah.
So tell me about what was going on in that conversation where you guys decided, let's just tackle it. Let's see who's going to sign up and have an open conversation about this critical area.
Okay, right? We're having a lot more people willing to come in for couples therapy. So then that means more people are open to the idea of working on their relationship. So with topics like sex, love, intimacy, we want to be able to build on that platform and say, hey, let's have a conversation about it. It doesn't only have to happen at the last resort in therapy, but let's start to talk about it now. Let's talk about relationship education in a way that it's preventative and also educational, right? And then you can have awareness about whether or not you need to come in for therapy. Right? So that's kind of where the conversation came about.
So you were seeing critical issues at the point of couples therapy that perhaps if there'd been openness and communication earlier, then some of the challenges could have been prevented.
Yeah.
Of course, couples always come to sessions when there is high conflict, when they are at the end of their relationship or when something big has happened, right? They won't come when there are small stressors or transition that has happened. They'll wait till years after. And I've realized that when they come in at this point, they're looking for that quick fix, right? They're looking for that, let's have a few sessions and we'll determine if we'll have this, if this relationship will last or not.
But actually, should I just go in, should me and my wife come in for these sessions because things are wrong? Or if we're doing so great with each other, is it a good idea to go and get therapy?
Yeah, definitely. You don't need to come in if there is some crazy conflict that's happening. You know, maybe you guys just notice, hey, there's some changes. Maybe I lost my job. Maybe my kids are getting at an older age. Maybe we aren't doing some of the same things that we did before. It's not like a huge conflict, but we're changing, and I kind of want us to talk about it, you know, in front of someone else. Maybe there are things that we're not seeing that we could change and revamp the way that we are with each other. Okay?
So there are two elements. There's how we talk about relationships, and there's how we talk in relationships.
Exactly.
This is a conversation to say, allowing a public platform to talk about how you talk in a relationship. Now, the topic, you call it intimate talks, but it's love, sex, and intimacy. Three different things that we tend to intertwine. Let's talk about what's the difference. What's the difference between what intimacy is, what sex is, and what love.
Okay, right? When people think love, at least societal,
Yeah.
they think about a feeling, right? They think about affection that has been built up over time. It's something that we developed. I like to think about intimacy as the action that comes with that, right? It's that active choice you're choosing each other to do something daily, whether it be you're supporting them emotionally, whether it be physically, or sexually, right? And that's kind of where the sex comes in. The sex kind of falls into that intimacy, right? And like you said, it's sometimes people think about it combined, but then you would hear people talk about it differently. Like they'll say, well, we're not in love, but we have sex. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Right? Or we're not in a traditional relationship. You know, we didn't say let's go on a date and then we're a girlfriend and boyfriend. We kind of fell into a relationship, right? How do you define love and intimacy in regards to that?
Yeah.
So love and intimacy is it's like a huge umbrella that can be defined in the context of the people that come in, right? And when we're having conversations like this, is to generalize it enough so that people feel comfortable to know that it's not choosing or judging for one type of couple or one type of relationship.
Yeah.
Right?
So no, you have it right there, the difference between love, sex, and intimacy, because sex doesn't mean love, and love doesn't mean intimacy.
Yeah.
And very often when we say intimacy, we automatically think sex.
Yes.
Yeah.
But an intimate moment can be a deep conversation or a thoughtful gesture.
Yeah.
And these are the things that oftentimes that we don't prioritize in relationships. Is it more important to work on the love, the sex, or the intimacy?
They're all
So they all balance? They should have a balance?
Yes, there is a balance, right? Just to say, not all relationships actually prioritize sex, right? But there are ways that people are physically intimate without actually having sex, right? We have to consider different type of couple groups that aren't actually having sex, right? So we want to balance what we're feeling, how we think about this person, the intimacy part. Are we considering them? How are we in relationship to them? When we make decisions, is it for the relationship? Is it for myself? A relationship is about shifting from me to we, right? So that's where the intimacy comes in.
You're right. You're right.
Is there a sense of we-ness, right? And how are you contributing to that we-ness?
Gosh,
Wow.
Yeah, that was a hard one to hear.
That's serious. What you just mentioned
That's probably like the number one thing we all get wrong.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
The me to we?
Yes.
Yeah.
That stuff.
Actually, let's step back a second here. So you are a marriage and family therapist practicing in Belize.
Yes, I am.
And I don't know what the culture is. I mean, I don't know, what it is right now. Maybe you can tell us. Are people now understanding that sitting with a therapist and talking about your problems as a couple is a viable solution to kind of keep the relationship going?
I've seen couples come in, they come in, right? They're not sure what to expect when they come in. Because here in Belize, when we talk about mental health, when we talk about counseling therapy, we specify or we single out individual therapy, right? There isn't much talk about how diverse therapy can be, family therapy, couples therapy, whatever different interventions. And so when people are offered couples therapy, they're not sure, what will I do in the room? Will I be just like a referee between them?
Is that what you are?
Or because I'm a female, will I take the side of the wife or the girlfriend? And so usually first sessions are all about just talking about what couples therapy is. What are the expectations? What are your assumptions about it so that I can break it down for you?
And the reluctance from the male, from that male partner, because look, I don't need nobody to talk to me. I know where to go on. Do we find these things?
Yes.
And why is it a bad thing? Is it wrong? Why should we listen?
Okay, right. So culturally, majority of the clients that I get, it's the wife or the girlfriend that would initiate couples therapy. Right? But this has a lot to do with how men have learned not to talk about their emotions and feelings, right? So even in therapy, I see that a lot of men try to uphold this in there. They don't want to talk about what their partner did to them that made them feel vulnerable. Talks like that get them uncomfortable, right? They're a bit more silent in session when it comes to vulnerability, right? However, I've seen men in session take the opportunity to discover a new part of themselves.
Wow.
Right? Couples therapy isn't only about building intimacy with each other. It's discovering intimacy with yourself. You don't know how to love or be intimate with someone if you don't know how to be intimate or love your own self. Right? So it's not only a discovery of the other person, but it's a discovery of you within the relationship.
That sounds like such a breakthrough moment. I think for men especially who unfortunately have been cheated out of the experience of talking about emotions from a young age or expressing emotions, they must have a real, if they follow through therapy or in couples, that moment of being heard, of being understood, and then being able to have your partner there too, actually to be a part of it. Is that a part of like a growth moment that you see?
Yes, it is a growth moment. However, I look at it like this. I always tell clients what happens in therapy has to continue out, right? So we might have breakthroughs within the session, right? We might talk about it. Clients may have that aha moment. But the big work that happens is when couples go out into their homes, into their lives, and they're practicing the things that they've learned, right? How do they not fall back right into the roles that they know already and try change, try something different that, everybody's telling them that they shouldn't,
But actually,
So when you look, those are tough ones.
Yeah, I'm looking at it as well.
Let me bring it back to the other part. When you say conversations that couples should have, it's not very common that people have, or you can tell me, how common is it that people have open conversations about the sexual part of their relationship? And how important is it that they get to a place where they can?
Yeah, this is so couple dependent, right? However, I would say majority-wise, people don't talk about it freely. Like, maybe one partner is ashamed to say that they cannot climax when they're with their partner, and they don't want to hurt their partner's feelings, right? Or maybe the other person doesn't want to say that they don't like something, or they would prefer something else, right? Or they've had experiences before that they liked. How do you bring that into a relationship that you're in
without hurting feelings or egos, right?
Is there a open and safe pathway where you can talk about this? And that has to be something that's created, right? It shouldn't be something scary to talk about. Are you okay if I tell you I like this or I don't like this? And it should be, right? We should be having these conversations with our partners.
But it's difficult because we're not raised that way. We're not raised to talk about it. It's bedroom matter, so that's where you leave it. And some people are more open to having these conversations and some aren't.
Yes.
So with the sessions that you've got coming up, these are the kind of information that will be dispensed to those who will be there. Tell us about that.
Okay, yes. So we're planning to have our first intimate talk on July 16th. And we're going to kind of just jump into sexual intimacy, right? We kind of said intimacy, love, and sex, but we're kind of going to talk about, things like how conflict or change can affect your sexual intimacy with each other, because that's a real thing. How does intimacy shift over the period of time of a relationship? You're not the same that you were in the beginning after all the things that have been happening in life to now, right? There are differences that happen. So how do you discover each other now, even though you've been together for years? You know?
And how do you still keep the relationship alive and enjoyable? The other thing I wanted to talk about, because there's also, and it has to be interesting from your perspective, the way we couple in this country is I mean, I would say it's not the best way for all of us. We don't date in our culture. We've never had that practice. You know, it's like you talk to somebody, you start to have, you start to have a sexual relationship with them, and then it's like
Then
either
that's
move
from
on
there,
to somebody else, or okay, I'll stay with you.
Yes.
What does that do for us in terms of setting the foundation for relationships? We don't get to choose, I eat with Ashley today, with this one the next day, and I think I like this one more. We don't do that selection process.
Yeah. When we, like you said, it's like getting to know each other, you know. Sometimes we do. We do. Like, you know, maybe we text and we meet each other for the first time. Yeah. Or maybe we just jump right into a sexual relationship, like you said. We kind of take ourselves away from being able to discover this other person completely. Yeah. Right? How do we know that we want to be together? How do I know all the things that I like about this person and this person likes about me? And then what are the parts of this person that I can I be with this person for a long term?
Can I tolerate within that?
Or what I see is that people wait until they're in a relationship to then say, these are the things that I don't really like, I can't deal with it, I need this person to change, right? But there's no conversations happening before. Right? And like you said, it's that cutoff culture. So if I went out with you for a few times and you did something I didn't like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with knowing your taste. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's the meaningful way that we do it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's how much time you invest in knowing what your likes and dislikes are, or like what your deal breakers are. It's like if I start to define, these are things I know I must or must not have in someone I'll share my life with.
Yeah, I don't know that everybody does things like that. Yeah. You know? That they that they make lists or things like say, hey, this is what I want and this is what I will go for, and I won't change from this. Yeah. Especially in our younger population, I'm talking about adolescents into their 20s. Yeah. There's not much, he has to be this or she has to be this, and if they differ from that, and then I'm not going to be with them.
And it's not just physical characteristics, because it could be very value driven. It's like, you see somebody and you realize, I love how you interact with your family. Yeah. Like these are things that I need and want to connect on.
It's tough to even see that. Like, because we've discussed love languages with Jenny, and I feel these things are very important. Do families, or especially during these sessions, do we talk about these things, and how important are they?
Yes, I use love languages all the time because it's so important to know how you love and how you receive love, right? So you and your partner are together, and the way that I might show my partner love isn't the way that my partner receives it. And I'm trying to show love and care.
And I feel completely unappreciated.
Yes, right? But my partner is like, that's not what I want. I want you to talk to me more, but you're giving me things.
Giving me things, and I don't,
You're doing things for me.
Here
and I would
you are
prefer...
breaking the bank, buying everything, and I'm just here feeling unloved.
Dude, I don't want that. Conversation it is.
Conversation and communication.
So July 16th at 7 p.m. online.
Yes.
How can I sign up?
Okay, so you can go to the Counseling and Psychological Service Facebook page, and on their page there's a link to the Eventbrite. There's a link for Eventbrite that says love, intimacy, and sex. Right? You can register there, or you can just come online on the night, 7 o'clock.
A link, and that's it.
That's it. It's free. Free conversation. There's nothing you can lose by coming.
Ashley, have you developed the level of confidence to have these conversations publicly? I mean, are you, because we know that there's the group of people that have now opened up into just an open conversation about most things, sexuality, gender, the roles and breaking societal norms, but then we still have a very traditional viewpoint as well. So how do you balance that? You just let it go a long time ago?
I think for me, I am committed to helping people build and restore relationships, and having a conversation about sex and intimacy is a part of it. I can't exclude it. And so if I'm not doing my part by talking about these topics, I'm not contributing to any change. And that's why I decided to get into the field that I am in, so that I can create change within relationships, within families, couples.
That's
right?
great.
And it's also important to our overall health. I mean, I always remember one of the things that people say, it's like calling your genitals the correct name. We still can't. We have adults who can't do that. And it is something that we don't realize is very damaging. It's damaging in court if there's an abuse case, but it's also in general.
All of these things are very generational that we have learned. It's a very cultural thing, and it's difficult to break that, right? But as more people continue to change a little bit by a little bit, people will say, okay, this is okay. It's being accepted.
Coming out, yes.
It's okay to talk about this. And then they'll have people that are kind of like, no, you shouldn't be talking about that. And that's okay.
That's okay.
Right?
Indeed.
When change happens, there will always be two sides to it.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
Well, and what would you say to people? That there may be somebody at home thinking, I want my marriage to work. I just don't know how to move past this obstacle or how to communicate something. What do you say to them about making that push to perhaps seek counseling, couples counseling, and convincing their partner to go as well?
All right. Have a conversation with your partner. Be clear. We haven't been doing the same things that we have before. There's been some differences in the way that we have been interacting. And there is such a thing as couples therapy. It's not about someone just knowing your business. It's not about just going to share all our personal things, but it's for someone to have an objective view on the way that we are interacting with each other and pointing out ways that we can do better. Right?
Wow. That's smooth. Like, really.
Yeah.
I think we need to continue to have that conversation, especially that you've got your loved ones and you really and truly appreciate who they are. Then this is definitely the time to work on it by having the conversation and getting your couples therapy. So again,
and
July
if
16th.
I was going to say, if you want to join in the conversation, definitely. I mean, we just scratched the surface here. There's so much more. But I think being able to look at your a holistic development, you want to ensure that you can embrace the different aspects of your relationships that are important. So July 16th, you register online, Intimacy Talk, and it's going to be Love, Sex, and Intimacy, featuring marriage and family therapist Ashley Longsworth. Thank you for stopping in and telling us a bit about it.
Thank you for having me today.
All right.
Well, we're about to take our final break of the morning, and when we come back, we'll be wrapping things up. Stay with us. We'll be back.
Morning, sweetie. It's time for school.
Are you a teacher or public sector employee who is thinking of owning your new home? Get the keys to your new home with Belize Bank's all-inclusive mortgage, the best financing option in Belize for your new home purchase or construction. Inclusive of all mortgage-related fees, no down payment, affordable terms, amazingly low interest rates. Visit our nearest branch to speak to one of our financial advisors to discuss how you can be one step closer to owning your new home. Some conditions apply.
Smart continues to expand its internet coverage countrywide to help you live a smarter life.
Our villagers are very happy. They are pleased to know that Smart went the extra mile to put a tower in our village so that our villagers can get live stream on their TVs, and they can get their kids doing their online classes. I want to say to Smart, thank you for making it possible for us to get internet in Gardena Village. We really do appreciate it.
Smart continues to take the internet and mobile services to communities across Belize. Now save even more when you bundle your Smart broadband with Smart mobile services. Smart, bringing people together.
As one of the largest cable and internet providers in Belize, CBC strives to provide our customers with the highest standards of quality, value, and service in all aspects of cable TV and internet. Monitoring our systems closely, our technicians combine creative planning and state-of-the-art technology with years of experience and training to develop and provide the most reliable and advanced cable and internet service to exceed your expectations. For CBC and our team of talented engineers, technicians, and customer service representatives, delivering less than the very best is never an option.
And we're back. Just like that, we've come to the end of our show for today. It is a Friday, and we want for you to have a smooth weekend. Actually, we kicked things off this morning with Jenny, and she was smooth with us in telling us, you know what, these are some of the things we should do.
We just bombard Jenny with everything from baby mama drama to depression to
work situations to everything.
Toxicity.
Wow. That was a great conversation with her, though, and I really and truly feel she actually spoke to each and every one of us, because all these things she touched on, I'm sure it's happening as we speak.
All right, and of course, when we do have another Brook It Down with Jenny, we'll let you know ahead of time so you can get in your concern if you want a new perspective. Of course, do remember, she can't give advice if she doesn't know the whole situation, so it's just adding a whole different layer to the issue itself.
Indeed.
So thank you to Jenny. Thank you to Cornelia. This is a health day, right?
I know, right?
Mental health, physical health, and then we're talking about your relationship health.
Of course.
Cornelia gave us a great recipe for an immunity booster packed with vitamin C.
You remember the ingredients? Oranges, tangerine, lime,
onion, garlic, cayenne pepper,
turmeric,
honey, and coconut oil.
Blend that together and take a nice sip of that. And like he mentioned, every hour on the hour you take a little teaspoon of that, and just to boost your immune system, especially if you're coming down with the flu, that's what you do. Excellent.
Absolutely.
Cornelia, thank you so very much for that. And Ashley,
Ashley, definitely, I think introducing something that will be helpful for a lot of people in relationships. There are many difficult conversations or uncomfortable conversations that people don't have. And I think a particular an opportunity like this lets you understand why it's important to your relationship, and also maybe gives you a bit of a tip, or give you some tips as to how to approach it as well.
Indeed.
So Love, Sex, and Intimacy Talk. It takes place July 16th. It is online, so you have to register for the event, and you go to Counseling and Psychological Services Facebook page, and you can get all the details there. But John,
we've got to go. You
out
know
of
what?
time.
I always say, Marlene, without you there at home, this wouldn't be possible. So we want to thank you so very much for waking up and starting your morning right with us right here on Open Your Eyes. If you've got any questions, any concerns, drop us a line at oye@channel5belize.com.
All right, find us on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ and on Instagram at OYE Belize. Remember to tune in on Monday morning at 6:30 when you open your eyes.
Start your morning right. As per usual, keep your eyes, your minds,
and your hearts open. We'll see you soon. Enjoy your day, Belize.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.